Look at that. Surprise, surprise. It's not giving me any loading errors. That's so weird.
Hmm.
It really only doesn't like the Wednesday game, Doogler.
Would it be because we're not in a channel, but we're in a group chat?
I don't know. No idea. No idea. That is a variable that could be affecting it, but I can't see why. Either way, it's just strange. Anyways, hello everyone. Hi, welcome back. It's been a while since we've been here to play Starforged, our show No Force in the Verse. I have three wonderful players here with me today. Our fourth is not going to be attending again, so it looks like the plans I had put in place for who was about to shoot Mimi in the face will have to be an NPC now. Enjoy.
Oh,
Yeah, it was gonna be a great segue to get them in, but life happens, and so now you're just gonna get shot in the face. So hope you.
That's fine.
Yeah, I was like, hope you had a new character ready. I don't know. No, that's probably not gonna happen. It's been a while, so I don't expect anybody to be able to do the recap, let alone myself. But we'll go ahead and do it. This is, of course, the Ironsworn Starforged system, where a lot of stuff is done collaboratively as a group. We build the world around us and the, I guess you could say, the greater galaxy around us through a series of charts and tables that are called oracles, as well as just kind of building the shenanigans based off of the outcomes of the dice roll more than any real pre-planned stuff. So currently you all had gone to investigate a derelict station and had done some exploration, and creatures not from this reality seem to have also broken in to this derelict station either before your arrival, or maybe they even figured out to get there because of you all. Who knows? It's a greater mystery to figure out. But a small fight had ensued. You all came out victorious over these creatures and had proceeded to the source of a strange radio signal, and we had left off with you all exiting out of a corridor into a more open living space, and the ominous foretelling of one of the characters being lined up in the crosshairs of somebody else's scope. Before we jump fully in, I will give everyone a chance to introduce themselves and a little bit of who they are and who they're playing.
Hi, I'm Naomi. I don't do anything. I'm just here on Thursdays.
That's
play
not
games.
that's not true. You do plenty, and you should tell us about your character as well.
Well, my character is Gili. She is kind of like the medic slash like little. Oh no, she's like the researcher slash medic role. She's interested in the flora of the different planets in what's the name of this place? Terminus or
You're in the Terminus region. This is the Haunted Threshold sector.
ultimately she just wants to learn more about like the medicinal and therapeutic values of the different flora and fauna and help preserve them in case of any potential problems in the future that will prevent them from existing, I guess. But yeah, aside from that, I haven't been super active. Like, I'm not really on social media anymore. I've been reading and, oh no, trying to write, but not really writing, just like planning my writing, I guess. So, yeah, that's me. And that's my character.
Next up.
I'll pop in it. Hi, everybody. I'm Dugan93. I am here on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and now Sundays as well. You can find me on my channel at twitch.tv/Juggler93, where I do art and play games every Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. I do Persona 3 with my friend Kat. That I am playing Ava Dawn's Glow, who the Gearhead Blade Master with a symbiote. But call sign Tizzy.
And lastly,
And I am Shay, or Shay the Fae on Twitch and Twitter, and I am currently playing Surukyo, a empathic geneticist. And that's kind of it.
that's kind of it. All right.
Oh, I do have an AI that I connect to on the ship named Sophie.
Sophie exists on your all's ship, which is called the Freya's Wrath. And just a quick refresher of names and stuff because they were generated in the Oracle. You are currently on Koshiba's Hearth, and your mission was to investigate manifestations at Koshiba's Hearth, which you kind of already had, but you don't really have answers to what's going on at Koshiba's Hearth. So, with the news that there is something lining up a shot on our dear Geely, I'm going to say, and you know what? I don't need to use anybody else's sheet. I can just use K's because they're not here. Just for my own point and reference. Also, I should probably pull up that other the reference files that the amazing reference files that this game has. Oh, where did they go?
Oh, if you're in moves and you click on a move, it'll actually pop up and say what it does, which
Oh
is
yeah.
really helpful.
The integration for the audience, the integration on Roll20 is super amazing, and if you also help support the creators of this game, one, Ironsworn, which is the original game, is free, and Starforged is worth its price tag, but it comes with just a lot of wonderful resources, some of which I need to pull up so that I can present myself as a prepared storyteller. Let's see, Naomi, you had posted those the other day.
I had what?
You had posted them and they were pinned. I'm trying to find out where I put them. The play kit is what I was looking for. I found it.
Okay.
Yeah, the play kit was what you had mentioned last time we played as being super helpful, and it was. Okay. I gotta remember I'm not on my usual setup here either, so the stuff on the right screen is what everybody sees. So I gotta change that. All right, so I feel like there is not a high chance that they will shoot you, but there is still a chance. So what we're going to do is we are going to ask the Oracle. It's unlikely that you will be shot. Maybe they'll recognize you, but we're going to go ahead and roll it anyways. Oracle, is it unlikely that Geely will be shot? That's a 77, so it's no. I should have worded it better.
Yeah.
how likely? The way I intended it was, how likely is it for Keely to be shot? Geely. How likely was it for Geely to be shot? 77. No, so it's unlikely. No, Geely will not be shot.
So I was wondering if I could make a connection move here, and if I miss, I get shot.
Elaborate. Explain.
So there's a move called Make a Connection. When you search out a new relationship or give focus to an existing relationship, roll plus heart.
Okay.
On a strong hit, you create a connection, give them a roll on a rank. Whenever your connection aids you on a move closely associated with your roll, add +1 and take 1 momentum.
From a narrative standpoint, expand on this. Why would you be rolling this connection? Explain it from a narrative standpoint.
Well, for Geely, I think her path of least resistance is through this person's heart. She wants to, hey, I'm a person too. I'm here to help. She wants to provide.
I'm gonna say no on the grounds that you are not aware that this person has lined you up in their sights.
Oh, okay. I thought.
That's why
Yeah, I had recalled that we were like it was
they have not
of something at the end and our eyes met kind of
no
thing.
no no.
No, this is
You were caught in a sniper's crosshairs. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, never mind then.
Yeah.
That doesn't. That
I've
completely
already made that ruling, but I will clarify my reasoning for asking is because if you had, say, established that you knew somebody on this station, I would have allowed that role. So just think of that going forward.
Okay.
I feel like that would have been a good justification. And that was it was a leading question that I was kind of trying to get that kind of response from, but the response that you gave, I don't think that works because you're not aware of them.
I don't know if this person would by chance know me, but maybe like somebody with them in their patrol knows me. It's like, hey, wait a minute, let me see those binoculars.
Yeah. Okay. So, that being said, though, in this case, you are not going to be shot because as you are lined up in their crosshairs, it kind of plays in the direction that we were hoping, that they recognize that you're not one of these entities that have attacked the station. And though you are dead to rights in their crosshairs, there's that momentary hesitation before they pull back from the rifle, and this is all out of your view. This is, of course, the camera pulled back for the cinematic side of it. They pull back the rifle and they reach over to like a little radio comm at their shoulder, and the music stops playing outside of the saloon, which does alert all three of you to the idea that there are people here. There's people here that have cut the mics, as it were. And as the mics are cut, you hear somebody say, "Are y'all mercenaries or looters?"
I feel like when the music cuts, there's very like, uh-oh, we're in a trap moment, and I bring up my gun and the iron, little iron dagger, crossed over for stabilization, and I'm just kind of like go into a defensive position, and I call out, "Mercenaries, we're here to figure out what happened.
Really?
We're here to figure out what happened. We got a distress signal."
Oh, well, wonderful. Do us a kindness then. Sling your rifles and tuck your weapons away and take 3 steps forward.
Ava's short sword is in its scabbard, and hands on hip as she just does take a step forward. And another.
Yeah, I put my my thermal launcher or whatever back onto my hip. I had it out, and I step forward too. Kind of raise my hand and say, like I said, just reconnaissance. You guys okay? We can leave.
Well, I don't see anyone, so there is a very strong hesitation before tucking the blade away and lowering the weapon.
Mighty kind of you. You hear the voice is coming from the saloon, and after a moment, 3 figures step out. And what you all end up seeing is we're going to roll to create some people. Characters. First look. So we'll start one at a time. The lead individual who is speaking. Why didn't you just roll? I appreciate you opening to a thing that I can see it better, but I want you to just roll. There we go. energetic. I felt like I captured that quite nicely. And threatened. Okay, yeah, sure. And their initial disposition feels helpful. Okay. um, so they say my name's Landry Valez. I one of the few survivors here still on the hearth. It's good that y'all got the distress signal because we're basically all that's left. I got several injured and hungry inside, but I needed to make sure y'all weren't trying to loot the place first.
What happened?
Well, that's a thing. Not really sure. This is normally a place where people go to disappear, but sometimes that attracts the wrong folk. If you catch my meaning. There was a preacher came by, talking about sins and how this sort of place needed to be cleansed. And well, most people didn't take it to the heart, but sure enough, a week after they arrived, these tears started opening up, and sure enough, demons started appearing.
You're the only survivors.
We've been holed up here, laying low. There were a couple of those monstrosities roaming around the area, but it sounded like y'all had dealt with it. You got this far. Yeah, it seemed that way. Iron does do a wonder on this, but you can only produce so much iron when there's corridors full of them.
So, since this is a place that people go to disappear, I'm gonna say, all right, well, just to be on the up and up, though, I'm not taking anybody dangerous onto our ship once we collect you, right? And I would like to use my empath ability to read intent, emotions, or memories of a nearby being. Roll plus heart. Basically, I want to know if any of them are dangerous before inviting them on board.
Certainly.
So I roll hard. Can I roll here? Where is it? I forget how to do this already.
So there's the. No, that's not. Are you using one of your abilities?
Yes.
Does your ability give you the means to roll?
It says, roll plus heart on a strong hit. Let me post it.
I was gonna say you could probably just roll. It's gonna be
if you go to summary, then click
Oh,
heart.
okay.
It's your roll.
I was gonna say that also works.
Do I have any modifiers?
No, just what you bring with you.
Does your ability give you anything to that, or is it just as you do it?
Did it roll?
It did not roll yet. There it is. And it looks like it's a weak hit.
All right. So on a weak hit, the visions are murky, but I still get something. I'll accept that.
The intent emotions.
And plus 1 momentum. Cool.
Sure. Okay. Reveal it. On a miss, reveal a troubling motive or secret. Interesting. Okay. I like it. The stuff's always more interesting when you fail. All right.
Yeah. Right.
On a weak hit, the visions are murky. Take 1 momentum. Make sure you mark that down. So I think since he's the only one who stepped forward, your abilities are focused on him. You get that he does not have hostile intentions. He's speaking the truth, but you do see flashes of information because you were able to psionically see into his heart. You get the feeling that he may have been a dangerous person once upon a time, but probably not now.
Okay.
He's dangerous, but not dangerous.
He can choose to be dangerous to the right people.
Yeah, he's John Wick. He can be dangerous.
All right. All right. Let's get these folk back to our ship. And are there any other holdouts of any other survivors?
As far as I can tell, we're the only ones left.
All right. What about any? Was there any place that the stranger used to spend would occupy their time, much of their time?
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention that, but y'all were starting to round us all up to get us out of here. He had a keen interest in a vault that we had discovered not too long ago. I think that might be the source of where these things are coming from.
Can you give us directions to that area?
And he does so. I'll just make it easy. He does so. He says, you guarantee to get us out of here, and I'll mark the location for you on your HUD.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that. Straw. This ain't no Starforged ASMR.
Suru, I just gotta ask, I think, like, I don't know, it may just be best to get out of here. I don't think we need to hang around.
We still don't have all the answers.
Yeah, we should find out what's causing this, because I think if we don't find out, that it starts happening somewhere else, and somewhere else, and somewhere else.
It doesn't do us any good to escape if it's just going to continue to spread.
You seen any signs or reason to believe that it will spread? Like, it feels unreasonable to make that assumption.
Do you want to test that
I don't know.
assumption?
I think if this were a contamination effort, they probably would have sent people. We're here just to kind of see what's going on because we were in the area.
They don't know what this is. That's why we're here.
I mean,
Let me put it this way. We made a vow to investigate the manifestations on Kashiba's hearth.
And they just wouldn't be investigating it.
But do keep in mind, if you choose to abandon it, that is an option.
I suppose. I'm just thinking that this may not be something we complete in one go. I think maybe we should get these people off this rock and come back if that's the directive.
Alright, how about this? Gili, if you can escort them to the Freya's Wrath, I'll be connected to Sophie. And then Ava and I can go see what this vault is about.
We would be splitting up, but we would be getting people to safe and finding out what the fault is.
It's true.
I'm not particularly keen on the idea, but I do think All right, fuck it. Let's go. All right. Is it just you three, or are there more of you? Do we need to get stuff together? This is
Uh,
me turning to the
mhm.
NPCs.
It's
The other,
just the three of us.
yeah,
All right.
the
Well,
other
let's get going.
options. You mentioned some of you were injured, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can they move?
They can move. We're all just pretty banged up.
All right. Looking at the others, our other option would be either to come back for them or give them directions, but they might be better off with someone guiding them. So is that our plan then?
I think we can go with this as our plan.
All right, let's do it.
Can I observe their wounds and see if there's anything I can do with my healer role to
Absolutely.
improve
You want to
their
try and give them
status?
some medical attention?
Yes, I would.
Awesome. Yeah.
Also, I see that my marks are not there anymore. Does anyone remember how many marks we had to investigate Kashiba's heart? Sorry.
The vow? I don't think we
You don't have any marks on the vow yet.
Yeah, we had to.
We've marked on
Progress.
the progress
Right,
and
I see.
legacies, but that's it. Okay. Well, yeah. Let me roll a heal move. Would I do this 3 times, or is this once for all 3?
We'll do it once.
So I will say all of my momentum is reset, which isn't great. Because I definitely had at least 4.
That's strange. I do think you had like 4.
Yeah. I'm not gonna use it here, but I did want to mention it.
No, that's fair.
Um,
Because you did gain momentum during the last game.
Also, I forgot to ask. When we use momentum to change our roll, do we burn all of it and it goes to 0?
No, you burn a momentum and it goes down. Or if you lose momentum or gain momentum, it tells you how much it goes up or down.
All right. I only mentioned that because
if you burn, you can burn as much momentum as you have.
yeah, I just mentioned it because like if I use my kinetic powers to do something, I can add +2 to the roll and lose 2 momentum, which would just be using momentum instead of, like if everybody can do that, then that ability serves no purpose.
Well, you're not supposed to be spending momentum a lot. You're supposed to save it for dire situations.
I know. But what I'm saying is, like in a dire situation, if the target is 7 and I roll a 5, and then anybody can just add +2 momentum and lose 2 momentum, then what is the point of being kinetic, where it lets you add +2 momentum or +2 to the roll and subtract 2 momentum anyway?
Stand by.
What does kinetic say? Let me.
It literally says that when you're in a risky situation and drawing your powers to make a move, add +2 and lose 2 momentum.
Yeah, it just occurred to me that like if we can all do that anyway, then
I'm checking the momentum stuff.
yeah. Actually, I don't have that.
Alright. It needs to just be a momentum page. Too much stuff has
Uh, 35. That's where it starts, I think.
New game, everybody.
New game, everybody.
Rushing to.
Oh, I'm on the quick start. Sorry. That's not helpful.
Just results or failure.
You said 35?
Oh. Okay. So we were thinking of it wrong. So let's say I had a momentum of 7, but I rolled a 4. I could burn momentum to have a 7 instead of a 4.
Oh, so you burn all
Shay's
of the
effect
you burn
just
all of the
adds to-
momentum.
Yeah, after an actual, you may replace your score with your current momentum value to improve.
Oh,
example,
okay. So you're not. It's
you're-
not a. It's not a 1-for-1 trade. It's you're changing the die roll for that number. So you want
Got it.
to be banking momentum as much as possible. You, however, can just spend momentum.
Got it. Cool. Okay.
But it's only a plus.
So-
But it's only a +2.
Yes, but it does. The clarity was all I was looking for.
So if I were to use my momentum here, I would spend all 4 to get 8 and be between 5 and 8 for my challenge dice. Or
Yes.
5 and 10 for my challenge
Yes.
dice. Would be a weak hit.
It would be a weak hit. Yeah. Which it
Well,
probably.
technically it's a 9, not an 8, because I get +1 for treating
So-
with the healer path.
So what is your momentum at right now?
4.
4.
Then if you can replace, it says you can replace your die roll with.
Oh, it doesn't add to it. It replaces.
Oh,
Your
it doesn't
places.
add
Yeah,
to it.
then it just resets to 2 after that.
Okay.
Okay, so
Got
you would,
it.
yeah, you wouldn't be able to gain anything from it now because a 4 would become a 4.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Does
Okay.
this include your +1 though?
No, that does not. I didn't put the bonus on there.
So you would actually be at a 5.
Yeah, I would
And
be at
that'd
a
be a
5.
weak hit.
And
And that's a
so
new miss.
when it's a 5, it matches though, so that means something too. Shit, I gotta remember.
There's miss, weak hit, and strong hit. They're the only real options.
But there's something that happens when you match the number. New game,
I'm gonna
everyone.
Assume not for everything. Not for heal.
Not for heal.
It's on a miss, on a weak hit, on a strong hit. There's no on a match.
No, it's something in particular for the actual like die rolls.
Yeah. When you match the same thing, something else can happen.
Strong hit with a match. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's just specific ones because that's what I'm only seeing coming up. Okay, we're just gonna say it's fine. What happens on a miss for a healer?
The 8 is ineffective and the situation worsens. Pay the price.
Yikes. Okay. Then please roll me a pay the price. Or would you like me to roll it?
I can roll it.
Okay.
54. A
you
friend,
didn't do the-
companion, or ally is in harm's way, or you are, if alone.
I step on one of your tools and scream in pain. Ah.
You step on a landmine. Let's see here. Why didn't it roll all that information I could have used?
I just rolled a D100
I
and
see
then
that.
looked at the pay the price oracle table.
Zaz. Oracles. No, it's a move table. There we go.
Under fate moves, if that's what you're.
It is what
looking
I'm
for.
looking for. Yep, pay the price. There's the table. When you suffer the outcome of an action, choose one. And I just told you to roll. So that's what we're doing.
Mhm.
And so a friend, companion, or an ally is in harm's way, or you are if alone. Okay. I think that that's going to require something else. What that's going to be is I'm going to ask the Oracle to help us out. So what can make this situation worse for you or one of them? Action. Defeat.
I mean, dressings could be contaminated.
Yeah. Defeat an opportunity. Okay. So, Geely, he says there's only 3 of them there. So when you go in, you see that there's 2 individuals. One is laid out on a table, and they have a really nasty injury on their side. Laundry had said that everybody could move. This is very obviously a lie. This person was a lot worse for wear. Maybe it's just force of habit that out here in the verse that people who can't carry their own weight will often get left behind. So they didn't want to make it sound more serious, or they wanted to make it sound not as serious as it was until you were committed to helping them. And you see that this person is trying to keep themselves from bleeding out. They're like holding their side with a blood-soaked rag, and you get to work on trying to patch them up. And the medical supplies that are available and the medical supplies that you have are probably not enough to save this person. And you put in a valiant effort to save them, but the truth of the matter is they just bleed out on the table. They don't make it.
I do the pronouncing of death and say, well, there's 2 of you now.
The other person that
I
was
can cover with a tarp as best I can, and
the other individual, the sniper that the camera had seen, and you all get your first look at them. They have... Boop, boop. They are scruffy and augmented. Let's see here. We're also going to do 1d3. It is a male individual. They look like they haven't shaved in several days. They have a cybernetic eye that apparently also was looking through the scope, which was making the scope seem kind of superfluous, but maybe it was also just enhancing their ability to zoom in on you or see some kind of cool vitals. But they have a cool robot eye that covers up a majority of their face, kind of like a Zuko scar. It just takes up that much of their skull and eye socket. They have a trash ghillie suit. Ghillie. They have a trash ghillie suit, the actual ghillie suit, not a ghillie suit. And they kind of hoist up this very large-looking rifle, and they say, "Well, you did your best." And they walk out, not really bothering to take anything off of their dead companion's body. But there is 2 of them now, and 3 of you.
is there practices that you follow for your dead out here? Did they have any requests? I look at the body of the deceased. Can I tell distinguishing markers or anything?
They say nothing that would matter at the moment. I thought our priority was getting out of here.
All right, I'm just trying to be respectful.
I understand.
We can go. I kind of grab my medical bag and throw everything back in, and look to my companions and say, "We'll meet back at the Wrath."
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Sophie will keep me informed.
Don't be long.
So, Gilly doesn't need to embark on an expedition, but once Laundry had marked the location for the 2 of you, you will be expected to embark on an expedition because you have a location, but you really don't know the route yourself. So this next set of progress will be en route to the vault. And it will probably be just troublesome since you have an actual a marker in a destination that you're aware of. You're not just going in there blindly, so it's not going to be too difficult.
All right, Sophie, did you get all that?
Beep boop. Yes, I did. Beep boop.
All right, you're the best.
You're the best.
Oh, thank you.
Remember to stay positive.
All right.
Whichever one of you wants to roll to undertake the expedition.
Undertake. Is that under moves? Venture moves. No. Exploration.
Yeah, okay.
There it is. I see it.
You were so dramatic for not rolling this correctly.
Oh, right. Input value.
Yep.
Um,
Amazing.
It's funny.
right. Okay, here we go.
You got this, babe.
I believe in you.
Hey.
Hey, strong hit with a match. So, when you undertake an expedition, and a strong hit... Oh, but it doesn't say anything for the matches. Okay. Oh, you didn't explain how you were going about this, my dear.
I was gonna try to move quickly.
So you were moving at speed, so you rolled with edge, right?
Yes.
Okay. So on a strong hit, you reach your waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress per the rank of your expedition. So please, both of you, make sure you mark, and then we will envision the location. I'm also going to make my own progress tracker so I can keep up with it too. Vault. Mark. That's 3, so not quite there yet, unless you want to conclude. So, we have reached a waypoint. And so, gotta remember where all this stuff is. Discovering a vision. Explore a waypoint. Okay. Oracles. Just need a location. You're not there yet. Okay. Why don't we do this? Descriptor. Damaged. Lush. It's lushfully damaged. Why don't we get one more? Create it.
Did we find the garden section?
No, that's actually a really good idea. You start making your way through these corridors, and it opens up into the hydroponics, which is probably a better use for that, because it may be a hideaway for ne'er-do-wells, but people still gotta eat, right? And so you come across the ruined hydroponics area, facility, whatever. It opens up into like a room that serves for farmland, but the plant life and vegetation are now a mix of being badly overgrown on one side and dying on the other, due to like solar lamps and whatever like miracle grow vegetation mix is being cycled through these artificial ecosystems. There's not really much more to it, but it just looks like one side of the room had taken just an obscene amount of damage, likely in the fighting that ensued. And so the food here has all started to decay and rot, and the smell of it is very clear. Rotted space potatoes and rotted space cabbage doesn't smell good.
Potatoes and spavage, if you will.
Exactly, it's potatoes and spavage.
Oh, there's Babbage's.
Oh, the spavages.
Just think, in like 10 years, 100 years, this entire dome is just going to be one giant ecosystem. Assuming nobody returns here.
Well, it's something to come of it, at least.
Alright. We still moving?
Are you still there?
Uh,
Or did you want
yeah.
to explore the waypoint?
Actually, Ava will explore the waypoint, yes. And let's see what
You'll roll plus
we
wits.
find. A weak hit. So
Yes.
on a weak hit, you uncover something interesting that's bound up in a peril or reveals an honest aspect of this place. Envision what you encounter, then take +1 momentum.
What do you encounter? I'm gonna leave the envision what you encounter up to you guys, and then I can expand on that from here. Make it fun.
So,
If this place was the site of a fight, there could potentially be. Actually, no, the thing kind of melted away when we killed it. But Shay, should I go really bad for us, or not really bad for us?
oh, I was going to say seeds, but whatever you want.
Oh, I was thinking finding a husk of something that kind of molted. So
I
there's
mean,
a bigger danger than we've known.
you made the roll, so
Yeah, I like the idea we found something that's the remains of something that's molted and it's kind of starting to decay.
It's probably a person. Considering these entities did in fact melt away from reality once they were killed.
True.
So you see the desiccated corpse of somebody who had been left here. Without your medic, it's kind of hard to tell how long they've been dead. But they have the signs of they've been dead for a while. What else is there? Story complications. Ooh, I'll roll on that to see what the peril is. Okay. You do see that there is somebody here that had died, and I think when the two of you got closer to check on them and see if there was anything there, you didn't realize that maybe the folks here had booby trapped the corpse in case one of those things came back and was hungry. And you were the unlucky ones to find it. So, being said, Dougler is odds. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I would need. Almost asked for a reflex save. Yo. Roll a quick. Pay the price.
Okay, so that's just a D100.
Or actually, sorry. That's not the right thing. It's endure harm.
Yes. Endure.
It's on the suffer moves in the middle, bottom middle.
And the option between health or iron. I'll have to check by his physical energy or -1 health. Yeah, so roll plus health.
Mm-hmm. And so
That
weak
is a
hit.
weak hit.
On a weak hit, if you are not wounded, which you shouldn't be, you may lose 1 momentum in exchange for 1 health. Otherwise, you'd press on. So when you face physical injury, fatigue, or illness, you're going to suffer 1 health from minor harm, -2 from serious harm. It is minor harm, or 3 from major harm. If your health is 0, you lose momentum equal to the remaining harm. Then, if your health is 0, or you choose to resist the harm, roll plus health or plus iron, which is what you did. And that's why on the weak hit, you haven't been wounded, so you would lose that momentum in exchange for +1 health. So effectively, you'd just not take that health off, and you would lose momentum instead.
Okay, down to 3.
Okay. So there's this, there's this moment where you go and you turn the body over, and you see that it was holding a hand grenade clutched in its grip, and when you turned it, the movement causes the stiff rigor mortis fingers to slack just enough for the little grenade to plop from its grip and bounce on the floor. And the two of you have enough time to jump out of the way, but you take, a glancing blast of the shrapnel.
Ow. Fuck, ow.
You all right over there?
I think it singed my ass.
Yeah, your ears are ringing, and
No.
the AI chimes in, and it says, "Explosion detected. Are you dead?"
Negative.
Wonderful.
That was a passing response.
What? No. Kill all humans.
All right, let's get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more mechanical question.
Mhm.
The assets we have. Do we have all 3 of those thingies, or do we gain them with time?
You had 3 assets at the start of character creation, if you remember correctly. So you do have all 3 of those because you selected them when you made your character.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. Who rolled the first time? Dougler?
Shay
Shay
the
did.
first time, then
So,
I rolled
yeah.
the second time. Then.
Nope. For the expedition part, I mean. So Shay would.
That was me. Yeah.
Okay. So Dougler,
Right.
you can roll.
And
And how are we moving?
I'm gonna say
At speed, under the radar,
with
or staying
vigilant.
All right. So it's
'Cause-
plus wits.
The trap kind of said Ava on edge.
Understandable.
So she's going first, has her short sword drawn, and we go.
That is a miss.
Oh, what happens on a miss?
On a miss, you are waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress, and we will pay the price.
Oh,
So it was your roll, so why don't you go ahead and bring up pay the price for me?
okay.
I would eat your momentum here.
They don't have
It
enough.
would bring it to 3.
Yeah, it would change the roll to a 3. It would make it worse.
And 79, which is a.
You are
I am
harmed.
harmed.
You are what?
You are harmed. Also, you can just tell the Oracle to roll on here, so it brings up the result.
With the fate moves, it's going to be the option to roll. This was my square next to them.
So it's under the moves, and Fate moves. When you click pay the price, it brings up the table, and then there's a roll to pay the price oracle. See, now mine just told me to roll twice.
That sounds awful.
Yours. Yep.
Ah, okay.
A surprising development complicates your quest. A new enemy is revealed. Nah, we're gonna go with yours. You are harmed. So why don't you roll again for me to endure harm, and we're gonna tick it up to a serious harm this time. This time it's not like a booby trap or something. It's some environmental damage. You guys are like crossing some scaffolding or something, and you're taking the lead. But what ends up happening is it just kind of it falls out from under you, and you don't. It's more that you put your foot through it, and so getting caught in this grate is going to potentially really badly scrape up your leg. It's gonna be bad. So we got some serious harm on here.
Well, let's roll plus health.
Man, those challenge tries are brutal.
Yeah, yours are being particularly mean. On a weak
It was okay
hit,
last time.
on a weak hit, if you are not wounded, I'm trying to remember. Like, wounded is when you actually take the damage, which you haven't done yet. So you can. No, sorry. You may lose the 1 momentum in exchange for +1 health. So from here on, you would be considered wounded, but you can trade 1 momentum for 1 health.
Okay, so I take a hit, then I can choose if I sacrifice a momentum to add my health again.
It's what it says specifically is if you are not wounded, you may lose 1 momentum in exchange for +1 health. Otherwise, you press on. So you're currently losing 2 health. So you can trade one of those health losses to give up a momentum, but you're still going to lose 1 health.
Okay, I will give up 1 for momentum.
Okay, so make sure you mark down that you have lost a health as well.
Yep, 4 health,
yep,
momentum.
and know now that you are considered wounded for the ramifications of a weak hit. Okay.
Move up and grab them and just help them out of the little leg trap they made for themselves.
This place doesn't like us anymore.
Place doesn't like
I don't think this place ever liked us.
Did you want the chance to explore the waypoint or continue on?
Let's continue on.
Okay. Also, keep in mind that you can also conclude the expedition whenever. You don't have to fill the entire track bar.
Yeah, we only got 3, right?
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dougler rolled last. Shay?
I feel like now I'm gonna try to move quietly. No, it makes sense to be wary.
Vigilant.
Oh god.
So if you burn momentum, you make it a strong hit. Or you
Yeah.
could leave it at a miss.
Could burn 2 momentum
Yeah,
for
Oh, I can do that.
Yep, you have your ability.
Yeah.
I feel like yes, I will. I will burn 2 momentum using kinetic powers. to make that a weak hit? Question mark?
Yes, that would be weekend, I believe.
Also, just to clarify for you, Hun, you only have the first ticks on your things, not all three.
Oh, okay.
That's why they only start with one.
Gotcha.
You have to level these up.
I hear you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So you wield kinetic powers by focusing. You may remotely push, pull, lift, or constrict objects and beings that are about your size or smaller. When you are in a risky situation, you draw on your powers to make a move, add 2, and lose 2 momentum, which I imagine this is very much just you are using your powers to help make a path for you and your companion getting through the rest of this area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sliding things aside and making it easy.
Yep. However, that makes it a strong hit. You reach a waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress per the rank of the expedition. So, mark. That brings it up to 6. And then we'll give a description, which is ancient.
Oh,
and
God.
Deadly. You have reached an area that seems to be more. The pathway has taken you away from the settlement proper, and it's more led down into what would be like the mines or caverns or something that existed before the people took over this station. It maybe was like an old mine or something that they were getting precious resources out of before it had been abandoned. And so this area looks like it had recently been reopened by someone or something. It also seems to give indications that this might be where the things are starting to come from. You have the sense that you are heading in the right direction. There are claw marks, there are bones, all of the indicators that the scarier it gets, the closer you are to finding the source of the problem. You have the option to look around, continue on, or try and end the expedition here.
Well, if we're close, I feel like now's the time we want to start going under the radar. But do you want to do an explore first, or what, Duclair?
I think an explorer might be handy to us because we might be able to find something that.
All right, I'll make that roll. So as we're getting here, and I see the claw marks, I start slowing down and just looking around and trying to be more careful at this point.
Okay, so explore that waypoint.
Okay.
Weak hits.
On a weak hit, you uncover something interesting, but it is bound up in a peril or reveals an ominous aspect of this place. Envision what you encounter and take +1 momentum.
Okay, so take the +1 momentum. You are starting to see signs of precursor technology in this area. It looks like when Laundry had mentioned a vault, that should have been a keyword that triggered alongside precursor, because usually only precursors have vaults that are scattered around the forge, and so if these things were being brought about, it's very likely that the ascendancy might have tried to seal them away in this thing, and this preacher had let them out, or it might be something far worse. But nobody really knows what these vaults are meant for. But if you see signs of the ascendancy in the area, chances are there's one of these vaults nearby. And it seems like the people here knew that there was a vault underneath their settlement.
So are there any like scraps of this precursor technology that I might be able to take?
No, but there's evidence of it all around you. There's not scraps. It's just that
Got it.
it's clear that it's built into the rock and all of that stuff. You could absolutely attempt to dismantle precursor stuff, but that's also usually very dangerous.
Yeah.
You're not just going to find something laying on the ground and go, "Ooh, precursor." That doesn't happen.
I'll basically like record this area to like study its structure later, but we still got a place to get to. Next roll is yours, Dougler. Do you want to keep going or try to conclude?
I think we have a good chance of concluding. So I'll give that a shot.
All right, you or me?
I'll give it a go.
Okay.
Weak hit.
Okay.
What does happen as a weak hit for a conclude?
Great question. I'm going to pull that up as well. Loop. Okay. Because it doesn't show up on the sheet. Finish the expedition. When your expedition comes to an end, roll the challenge dice and compare to your progress. On a strong hit, on a weak hit. This is what we got here. On a weak hit. Oh, no, I gotta read it because it says as above. On a strong hit, you reach the destination or complete your survey. Mark a reward on your Discovery's Legacy track per expedition's rank. Troublesome 1 tick. Dangerous 2. Formidable. What? Oh, 1 box. Okay. Extreme 2 boxes. Epic 3 boxes. Any allies who shared this expedition also mark the reward. On a weak hit, as above, but you face an unforeseen complication at the end of your expedition. Make the legacy reward 1 rank lower, none for troublesome expeditions, and envision what you encounter. So that would mean y'all don't mark 1 because it was the lowest rank. It also means that you come across some trouble, which I will say is the preacher is still down here, and you also get to see the vault. So let's see here. I don't need to roll that one. Shape material, outer first look. Automated defenses. That's fun. Okay.
At least they're present and visible.
Metallic. Okay. And geometric, cube-like. Okay, so you all reach the end of this expedition, and you end up seeing that the rough earthen corridors and occasional sparse shapes of this precursor, wall paneling or technology that kind of was outlining this area that had gotten reclaimed by nature over the millennia that it has been left here. It opens up to a more excavated area and the outline of this vault. You see that the man, or the person, because to say that it's a man is probably not fair, we're going to go ahead and just determine that it's actually a woman. Hooray, random dice. This preacher is a woman. They are tall. I don't know what my brain just said blonde, so they have braided blonde hair. They have the vestments of a religious entity, which I do believe we had determined is as diverse as the people, supernatural powers, blah, 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 are wielded by people we call paragons. Okay. We had determined that one religion still exists in this universe, and that there are more or less Jedi that run around here. They're called paragons. So I think this is like a renegade paragon that is there. She has the vestments that indicate that they are someone of great import within the paragons, and if a paragon is here, you probably have a oh crap moment. And they turn and they look at you and they say, "I did not expect to see unfaithful make it this far. I do not believe you are worthy enough to gaze upon the Ascendancy's creations. Face judgment, and if you survive, you will be worthy enough to enter." And the door to the Ascendancy's vault opens, and she walks through, and it quickly shuts behind her, and then several turrets appear along the walls, and they do not look friendly.
Kara's gonna wrap around Ava's fist and flip the woman off.
She's not there to see it.
All right.
So, as that happens, to not leave Geely out of the mix, we are going to cut back to Freya's Wrath. Geely, you and these two individuals have had an easy time of making it back towards the ship. Their injuries are not nearly as severe as the others, or as the one who had died on the operating table. But when you get them back to the ship, you're surprised that, one, they are fairly amicable to your, like, don't touch anything, go sit down, type of thing, where it's like, hey, don't do anything weird. They don't try and rob you and steal the ship, is basically what I'm getting at. They're surprisingly grateful and incredibly friendly once you get them to the ship. But in that time, what is it that you are doing with them?
I asked them some further screening, like medical-wise, see if maybe they have concussions or any wounds that do require any additional work. I give them a basic rundown of what the expectations are around the ship. I expect myself and Suru to be kind of like hard asses, I guess, in some respect, but in different ways. Like, oh no, I'm like cool with them doing whatever, but once they break a rule, it's like they're out the airlock kind of thing.
Certainly.
I kind of just line it up like, hey, like, be chill, we be chill.
Do you want to do a non-life-threatening heal roll on them? Since you were doing like a quick medical examination, nobody will die on your operating table this time because they're not that injured. But
yeah, I can.
because I guess there isn't like a medicine to see how bad they are, but it might.
Miss with a match.
Wow, that's all eight.
All eight.
That's
Yeah, what do I even do in that situation?
Roll a 9.
Why don't you roll? Why don't you roll again? I find that really interesting, but not narratively interesting.
Weak head.
Okay. As above, but the recovery costs extra time or resources. Choose one. Lose momentum or sacrifice resources. Yeah, I think maybe it's a matter of the augmented sniper is probably needs parts and service, because if you've been holed up fighting against monsters for days, weeks, maybe months at a time, you're not getting access to the best stuff to change out your damaged bits. There might be some old wounds that need redressing, or you have to crack into your antibiotics to make sure that anything they do have won't get any worse. But You can either burn the momentum or resources, whichever feels more appropriate to trying to get them patched up.
Yeah, and that's what I'll do. I'll just make sure
Which one are we
they're
spending?
in the. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's one or the other.
The resources.
Okay. Make sure you mark down 2 resources lost, or 2 supply, because I think that's what it means by
Yeah,
sacrifice.
I think it's.
It's
supply.
yeah. I was like, it's badly worded because it's underlined like a keyword. It's like it should be supply.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knocked my supply down too.
Cool. You also end up learning that the augmented, because through this you are of course being friendly and talking to them and laying down the ground rules. So you learn that their name is Boop. Ulan Metal. Ulan.
So Ulan Metal.
Is there any way, any spot on your sheet? Because I've been looking for it where we can write these things down.
Just on the summary page, all the way at the bottom,
Yeah, notes.
in the notes section.
Gotcha.
Got a whole notes tab.
Yeah, I just have like a Google document open and I add notes
Also,
there.
also, Dougler, on the
Mhm.
summary, there is a wounded, or there is a misfortunes section on the left where you can hit wounded.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. Cool. I see that it changes your momentum on one side. Your max changes when you get wounded. Interesting.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah. Is there anything else, Geely?
No, I don't really have anything.
Okay.
I'm just excited to see them return safe and sound.
Yeah. The AI does inform you that there was an explosion, but nobody has died.
Yeah, as long as vitals are still good and we're getting stuff back, I'm kind of assuming like standard fare.
You're like, as long as vitals are still good, and they're like, yeah, define good. as Ava takes more injuries along the way. All right, well then we'll segue back to the other two, who now have a fight on their hands. So this is gonna be some combat. We can do this one of 2 ways. Since there's multiple of you and multiple of them, you can choose to do a battle. When you fight a battle, it all happens in a blur, and you basically will make one roll instead of having a prolonged fight. Or if you want to take the risk and roll the dice, as it were, y'all can fight. There's probably like 4 turrets.
Yeah, Shay, I'm gonna leave this up to you because fuck roll 20. It doesn't like me.
It's fair.
Well, we have to decide what we're doing first.
No. That wasn't my question.
Oh, okay. What's the question?
I said you have the option to actually go into combat, or because there's multiple of them and multiple of you, you can fight a battle. And when you fight a battle, it's one roll. It's everything happens all in one go. Or you can just fight it out, where it's 2 of you versus 4 turrets. Fighting a battle is a mechanic to speed up large-scale combat.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's do that.
Okay. So, sorry, I lost my spot. Where did it go? There we go. Okay. When you fight a battle, and it happens in a blur, envision your objective and roll. Your objective, obviously, is to destroy these turrets and get inside the precursor vault. If you primarily fight at range or using your speed and the environment to your advantage, you will roll with edge. If you fight depending on your courage, leadership, or companions, roll plus heart. If you fight in close to overpower your foe, roll plus iron. If you fight using trickery to befuddle your foe, roll plus shadow. If you fight using careful tactics to outsmart your foe, roll plus wits.
Alright, well, I feel like.
And there is a battle one at the combat moves.
Okay. I think the way the last fight went, I was very battle control, so I'm going to be using bravery and leadership, so I'll do heart.
Okay, do I give her any bonuses because I am assisting?
I'll say a +1 since you're there as well.
I'm going to use my telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make that a strong hit.
That's probably a good idea. Okay. On a strong hit, you achieve your objective unconditionally. You and your allies who joined in the battle may take +2 momentum. So, it's a quick and decisive battle. The two of you work in tandem to bring down these turrets. You're able to outsmart their targeting, use cover, advance, and between you, Ava, Suru, and the symbiote, you guys are able to bring it down. And it's not a long and drawn out fight, but it's one that feels like it took a while. And when the smoke settles, these turrets are destroyed, and this vault door hangs in front of you, waiting.
Alright, let's finish this.
Okay, I'm ready, boss.
Go enter the vault.
And you'll go, and you'll enter the vault. You
Enter.
approach this door, and you see that there's a mural of the Ascendancy. These tall, imposing figures in sharp geometric shapes. For like a visual representation, what came to my head immediately would be like the murals of the diamonds from Steven Universe, where it's very artistically exaggerated, and it's not really indicating what these beings might have looked like, but they're very humanoid in shape. It's just that they have very, exaggerated and defined features, but it looks very purposely artistic. You bring your hand up to what looks like a control panel, and it illuminates to your touch, and it slowly opens the door, and it reveals the interior of the vault. And we see inside. Inner first look, interior feature, interior. Ooh, fun. There's options. First look. Complex textures or patterns appear when the vault door slides open. It reveals that there's a inner chamber that has these textures and patterns, and it looks like there was a very obvious walkway that leads to further into the vault, but these patterns and textures that align the floor, they look like they might have been outlines of squares or blocky shapes, and it looks like in certain areas these patterns were broken away or scuffed, kind of like the way an arcane sigil would encase, using D&D terms, would encase like a summoning circle. It looks like these same markings, in conjunction with technology, were containing something within them, and at key points they were broken away, and that's where you see a majority of these like claw marks and other things that indicate this is where those entities had escaped from. The preacher has reached the end of this corridor in the time that it took for you all to fight your way through the turrets, and they kind of turn and they regard you and they say, "Interesting. I didn't expect the two of you to dispatch them so quickly. I do not believe you are still worthy of the Ascendancy's legacy, but you may follow. And she continues on.
I think it's about time I jump on the overcom and say, "Hey, what's up, guys? Are you coming back?"
I am just going to be feeding this information back to Sophie through the HUD, just like visuals and audio and stuff. And as I'm following, I'm going to try again to use my empathic ability and try to get a sense of what they're up to.
Go for it.
I'm gonna vanish for like 45 seconds. I need to take my night meds.
I am timing you. The second you are over, you will start taking
Bravo,
damage.
bravo, bravo, bravo.
Hey,
That's a strong hit.
on a on a and I can read. On a strong hit, you glimpse a helpful aspect of their inner self. Envision what you learn. Take plus
I
2
am
momentum. Take plus 2 momentum and add plus 1 when you make moves to interact with them in this scene.
Cool. Okay, so you delve into their mind, and
Headphones.
you end up seeing aspects of the. Let me pull this back up because I'll remember their names eventually, but they are called magic paragons. You see aspects of this particular paragon, going through training and having a master and apprentice relationship with another older woman, and learning about the precursors. It seems like this preacher is an archaeologist of some sort, that had taken a particular interest in them. The Paragon teachings about how the Ascendancy are divine beings, and finding their temples is a sign that a Paragon is worthy of joining the Ascendancy's ranks. And you're getting this all, like, these bits of information and flashes, and as you envision this woman's teacher being killed, that's where you feel yourself getting pushed out of her mind. And the preacher looks over her shoulder and she says, "Oh, you are interesting."
Guess you're not the only Paragon here.
And when you say that, you see a long sliver of iron kind of appear in her hand, kind of like it's just slid dramatically out of her sleeve. And it's just a hilt made of iron, and from the hilt extends out just a beam that contains itself into a sword. And she says, "I don't think you're a Paragon." And she turns and starts to walk towards the two of you now.
Okay. I'm gonna draw the dagger and start to circle as well.
I'm going to try to get like data on where they are in relevance to the raft.
Very far.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, you went in the opposite direction of them, and they have been traveling for some time.
Yep.
But as I'm doing the thing where I start to circle, expecting
Ava's going the other way, yeah.
Yeah, expecting Ava to go the other way. And As I do, I just say, "So, what exactly were you hoping to accomplish? Just to destroy this place, or sacrifice yourself to a higher power?"
I planned to ascend. That's what these are for. A crucible to test those that are capable, and to sacrifice those that are too weak.
Religious
And
leaders love themselves some martyrdom.
hell yeah. And she says, and to sacrifice those that are too weak. If the people here, I already forgot the name of this place. What's the name of this place? Something
Kushiba's
Toshiba?
Hearth.
Hearth. Yeah. If the people of the Hearth were capable of accessing this vault, then they would have been welcomed into the precursor's loving embrace as well. But they weren't. You barely survived as well. But you've come this far. We don't have to fight. She says that as she watches the two of you start to circle, and she holds this psychic blade up towards the one who seemed interesting, Suru. She says, "We don't have to fight. You can prove yourself worthy as well."
Are you making a proposal?
If you can open the door to the next chamber, you would be worthy of ascending.
What does that entail exactly?
You'll have to find out.
I guess she doesn't know.
I don't even know. We haven't rolled for it yet. We haven't rolled for it yet, Dougler.
And be snarky.
She does look back over to Ava and she says, "The faithless will be cast to the wayside."
I don't get cast, I forge.
I mean, that would work towards the vow we made. Investigate the manifestations. And after that door is open, then what?
We'll see where that leads you.
My friend lives.
If they are strong enough.
We are.
Is there a door here?
So what you end up seeing, she starts to lower her weapon, but the blade doesn't go away. And when it seems like the two of you are also becoming more amicable towards this, she pushes a panel near her feet, and you see that the space where the three of you had entered, there was like a circular ring that had been etched into it, and it starts to descend. She says, "Well, it's good that you chose the path of least resistance." And what you see is the vault's purpose, vault feature. I want to see what the vault's purpose is first. Whoop. What's your purpose? Wow, the delay is crazy. There it is. Preservation of an ancient intelligence. Okay. And features. Test of invasive creatures. Awesome.
which we saw already. We saw one of.
Yeah, you kind of established that was actually what was going on there. So it starts to descend, and it seems to be descending for maybe like a minute or two, but it's very slow in its ascent or descent. And as it does so, the containment fields that were on the floor above, the amount of them that are here are incalculable. There's so much that spreads out to the left and the right of where this platform touches down. And there's a clear pathway on either side of these containment, or that is flanked by these containment fields, that leads up to a very large looking computer system. The safest assumption is it would be like my first thought is like the computer in the Batcave, but then the deep thought computer from Hitchhiker's Guide also comes to mind, where it's just this gigantic, obnoxious looking computer system that is just fixed at a central point in this area. And she looks up at it and she says,
I got an idea. What if it's like Power Rangers big blue head guy thumb?
Yeah,
Zordon?
yeah. It's a contained Zordon head. That's perfect. I love it. There's this large cylindrical containment field that houses maybe not a head, but it houses a projection of this body, including a head. And it has the presence of an AI, not a living being. And it just kind of floats suspended and in stasis. And she looks at both of you and she says, "Well, even I'm surprised by this outcome."
Is this not the divine being you were looking for?
It does not match what we've been told of the ascendancy, but if they ascended, perhaps they cast their physical bodies away. Come, we can find out together.
There is just there. I'm going along with it, but I'm definitely keeping them at arm's distance.
Oh, you don't trust them?
Of course not.
Yeah, Ava definitely has her sword arm towards the preacher. Just so she's actually able to draw a strike if something does happen.
I'm just looking at data on the monitor, like, what is even going, like, what is...
You're getting so many readings in here, though.
Right? I'm just like...
The other two are just eating popcorn.
They're like, what's going on? When can we get off?
When can we leave? Why are we still here? You're like, oh, it's
Oh,
not...
your friends are dead. Let's just go. You guys want to play these two dudes?
They're dead. We can leave.
Or like, fuck, we are. Stop eating my popcorn.
They have eaten all of your popcorn.
All right. So Zordon's here.
It's a whole body. It's not just Zordon.
Yeah, full body Zordon. I actually think if I thought like
You do get to see a full body Zordon, and it's not as impressive as we thought.
yeah. Was he naked in that?
No, he had like a roby. Yeah. Oh god. Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch that movie.
We need to know what he looks like.
I know what he looks like, but God, the fact that it was just that dumb head. Oh, it was Bryan Cranston in the remake movie. Gross. Anyways.
And then there were like things that were in containment fields.
More of those creatures. There you go, hun.
Oh, yep, that's him. That is a very uncomfortable looking turtleneck.
It's all right.
And
And
the full body look.
where's the rest of him?
It's a parka.
Hey, that's my dad. It doesn't look that uncomfy. Like, the material's designed to look a little bit like tree trunky, but
It's like a parka.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Anyway,
anyways, so they start walking. They ask you to go with them.
yep, following at a distance.
Okay. So keeping a safe distance.
Yeah.
Okay. They walk up, and with you guys following close behind, you reach the end of this long corridor. The creatures within the containment fields are aware of your presence the entire time. They're bashing into this hollow field that's keeping them from breaking through. They're bouncing off of it. They're snarling, they're scratching, they're salivating. They're doing everything they can to get through, but they just can't. And when you finally
Just
reach...
flipping them off.
Yep, just flipping them off. They don't know what that means. They still look hungry. When you reach the end, she stops at the control panel and she looks it over and she says, "Do either of you know your way around a computer?"
Let's see if I do.
Just
I know how to
pushing
fix
buttons.
Because I've geared when you make to craft, repair, repurpose, modify equipment or technology, add +1 to.
Well, it's not broken.
Yeah.
It's not what she was asking. She's looking for anybody who knows how to use a computer.
Is this going to be
What do you feel?
Oh,
what
I
do
see.
you
Wait,
feel
hang
it's
on.
going to be?
Oh no, that's not it. Is this going to be gather information? What is? I could try doing a gather information.
Certainly. However, I'm going to say it's at a -1 because you don't speak precursor.
Okay. Still a strong hit.
Still a strong hit.
Yes! Go challenge dice! Go challenge dice!
Yeah. The dice can't
Good
fuck
dice.
you if the ones you need to be bad also roll bad. Okay. Gather information.
On a strong hit, you discover something helpful and specific. The path you must follow or action you must take to make progress is made clear. Envision what you learn and then take +2 momentum. My momentum is maxed out.
Of course it is. Why are you even worried? You could have spent momentum. All right. So she asks if either of you know your way around a computer, and
I talked to them.
Suru's response is kind of like, "No, but," and I feel like instead of it just being you pressing random keys, it's more like you get in touch with your AI and they can remotely, see through you because you're connected to them. You've been in contact with them. And so working in conjunction with the AI at the ship, the information, one, is being relayed back to the ship, but it's also being translated in a way that you can kind of get an understanding of what you're pressing. And you see that there are a number of commands that start to illuminate on this control panel that you could press. One states open, another states awaken, a third states purge, and the fourth says reboot.
If we press the reboot button, do we get the opening scene to the 2001 hit anime reboot?
Yes. But from the perspective of the player, which is just playing a normal game.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, sorry. Boy, but a reboot tabletop RPG would be fun as hell.
Right?
Yeah.
Zoids would be pretty rad too.
Zoids would be rad. Is that just
Like the
Lancer?
customizable
Can we just kit bash Lancer?
into
Anyways.
Zoids, into like arena combat, fucking mech lion combat?
Oh, yeah. Somebody get on this. I would be down for a Zoids. Anyways, so you have 4 buttons, hun. The options
Right.
of which I've already forgotten.
Yep. I remember them.
Do you?
Um,
What are they?
They are. Three is purge.
Mm-hmm.
1 is release. 2 is awaken. And 4 is reboot.
What was 1?
1 was open. 2 is awaken. And 3 is purge. And 4 is reboot. Yeah.
Press 3. Let's go home.
So I look at them and I say, I can understand it.
Well, what does it say?
Well, we can let all those monsters out and die, if you wanted.
I'm
We can destroy
confident
it.
in my ability to.
We can destroy those monsters. And we can wake up that AI and reboot that AI.
Well, restarting whatever it's doing is probably not helpful to either of us.
So we wake it up.
Before we wake it up, I feel like we should get rid of the obstacle.
As I said before, if you were worthy, you'd be able to overcome this challenge.
And who says I'm not overcoming the challenge by being smart about it?
She crosses her arms and waits.
I will, I am not going to release a bunch of extra dimensional entities because we had trouble with one.
We'll be fine.
You'll
It
be
didn't
fine.
kill
There's
you.
only
Oh,
there's
Put
only
up the ray.
there's only 2 of you this time. You'll be fine against several.
Yeah. I am,
it might be chill this time. It didn't like Gilly. Gilly's not here. We're fine.
Yep. I have my vows, so I'm going to purge and then awaken.
Okay. And so you hit the purge button. And much to your surprise, it works exactly how you expect. Or maybe it doesn't work how you expect, but the desired outcome is what ends up happening. You see all of these containment fields, they change from blue to red, and instead of being something incredibly inhumane, like laser turrets descending and firing on all of these creatures, instead the little like fields just start to collapse in on themselves, and these entities, having nowhere to go, are slowly just kind of smushed in together and jamified. And as they're effectively crushed, they fizzle out of reality's existence back to wherever it is they came from. And then the containment fields pull back to their normal spot, and there's weirdly no gore or anything remaining because these creatures did not belong in this reality.
Their goop just got gooped back onto their goop plane,
Yep.
where they can goop about in their goopiness.
Pretty much.
And then I'll gesture to the AI and say, and that should have answers to your questions. And I will press the second one and awaken it.
And you press awaken, and you were disappointed to see that the creatures are not given the sentience they were designed to have. No. This figure contained within the cylindrical chamber, its chamber illuminates as well, and instead of having the horrible realization that it is also being purged, instead you run the protocol to awaken it, and the creature blinks as best it can for being an artificial being, and looks down, and it starts to speak in a language you don't understand.
Well, damn.
Do you understand our language?
It speaks again in a language you don't understand.
Okay, I'm going to try to do the same thing. I would like to try and use Sophie as a translator, if at all possible.
It certainly is.
What would that be?
Yes.
Gather information?
It could be another gather information. Or maybe make a connection. Plus one momentum. I would say either make a connection or gather information. What would you think works best? Right?
You're probably going to need to gather more information.
Okay. Here we go. That is a weak hit. Let's see. Wait, what did I get? 6. So I think it's 7, 8.
Your kinesis is not going to work on a computer.
It wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't help me anyway. I'm gonna save my 10 in case this lady attacks.
It's a smart choice, yeah. Okay, on a weak hit for gathering information.
So it does provide insight, but also complicates the request. Envision what you discovered. Take +1 momentum. I can't take.
You can't take any more momentum. You've banked too much momentum.
I am full of momentum.
Which is weird that you are still full of momentum, even though you burned momentum earlier.
I burned 2.
Yeah. All right. So the information provides new insight. Okay. You are not going to be able to understand this thing from just hitting a couple of random keys and syncing up with your AI. It seems like it's going to be something that takes longer than this. And then, of course, the complication is going to be that the preacher brings their sword to bear and says, "Well, it seems that you are in fact worthy, but this is going to be where I take the AI with me, and you will have to seek out the next vault."
Do you know what
Ava's
this
ready
AI
for
is?
this.
I did not hear Shay.
Do you even know what this AI is?
I know that it will be important to us. It will be important to the Paragons. It is a precursor technology, and we will study it. If you feel you have what it takes to become a Paragon, you can pursue us and seek your own answers. But this one is mine.
The music's really intense right now.
Yeah. Guys, I don't know what to do.
Ava's not really in the mood to reward bad behavior.
Gilly's not in a position to offer any substantial help outside of guidance, and she'd just say whatever gets you back to the ship faster.
Like, I mean, like, out of character, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if we can beat this person, especially down one person, and I also don't know because they were uncomfortably confident that they could take a whole room full of those dimension thingies.
They have a
Um,
cool
and-
laser sword. Of course they could.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I don't know what to do with this AI right now. Like, study it
could-
maybe, but
You could study, but a lot of AIs are illegal too. So, well, highly regulated still. That
They
could
are.
lead to trouble for us later on.
and I mean I already have an AI, and I think Sophie is already cooler.
Yeah, she gotta understand us.
But because this involves all of us. So like, what do you two feel?
I say let her take it. That's what I feel.
Let her take it, revenge later.
I mean, it's
Technically,
like
we are just mercenaries currently. If we could potentially become bounty hunters, and
I feel like worst case scenario is this becomes a plot for a later point in the story.
I do like the idea of having an enemy girlfriend. Um, I think there's a moment like when she brings when she raises the laser sword. There's definitely that reflex where the blade comes up. And it's like I look at the blade and I look at her sword, and it's just that "God damn it" moment. and it's that obvious it's that obvious it's that obvious reaction of that I probably couldn't stop you if I tried moment.
And she smiles back, knowing full well. She says, "You may attempt it at your peril."
Out of character, part of me wants to have a duel with her, but
Yep, we could have gone into Anakin and her Count Dooku.
um, I feel like I'm gonna lower the dagger, still keep it close, and then I just say, if more people die because of this, I'll come after you. And step aside.
And she looks to Ava.
Ava's gonna take a moment and step aside as well. Heroes are pilot. Let's do them.
She says, "Good. One final parting gift." She shoots Ava. No, I'm kidding. Let's see here. Oracle. Because she hasn't had a name yet. Or a real description. So why don't we do that? She's going to give you her name as a sign of respect. Boop. Talia Adler. Alright. Flashy. Probably not haggarded. Probably not distracted. Tattooed. So she was definitely flashy. She has a fucking lightsaber. And she probably has tattoos that marks her as a paragon. I like that. So she says, if you ever find yourself seeking the paragons, remember the name Talia Adler. And she goes up to this the control panel and she presses something that starts to lower the cylinder, and the tall cylinder that kind of made this figure look much bigger than they are reveals that it's fairly humanoid sized, maybe a little bit taller than Talia, probably closer to, our normal visions of what like precursor aliens would be, where they're very tall and lithe. They're probably closer to like 7 feet tall, but very thin and willowy. And this AI is contained within a humanoid shell, so more of an android, I guess, in this sense, because we did the Zordon reference earlier. So yeah, the giant glowy head is actually, there's a body in there, and that's what we're doing now, so deal with it. This person slumps over, and Talia hoists them easily over one shoulder, and then starts to make their way back to the lift that'll get them out of here.
Well, she never asked for our names, but if she's anything like me, she already knows.
And then in your head, you hear, "I'm in your head." But yeah, I will say that for the sake of brevity, nothing else really happens to you all on the way back. You give her enough time to get out of there. Gili, on the sensors, you pick up the signal of another ship taking off out of the hangar. And that's probably the indicator that, whoever that somebody else had survived and they didn't bother with your ship, but they grabbed something that was in the hangar and took off. And shortly after, your companions arrived back at the ship as well.
Well, welcome back. You okay? Like, I first want to check Ava because she was the first one to have like any abnormal vital readings, and then I asked Suru how she's doing, and if we're ready to go. This place is giving me the heebie-jeebies. Not like I was there during that encounter, but I'm only, you know.
Yeah, it was transmitted to Sophie. But I just walk by briskly and just say fine. And do we mark anything on legacies or anything?
You all have completed that task. You have successfully investigated Koshiba's hurts, so I would say you can fulfill that.
Fulfill. Oop.
Nope.
That's a
No, we have to mark progress on it.
mark it all the way out because you technically have done so.
Okay. Now what does that do?
Strong hit.
Strong hit twice.
Strong hit. Well, Ciro got a strong hit. Go ahead, Mimi. I'm fairly certain this is how it works because you basically have done
weak hit.
because it got a 10 as well. That what a butt.
Hey.
Okay. Let me see what happens when we fulfill.
This is
I'm-
what
I'm
you
pretty
get
sure
for
I'm pretty sure only one person is supposed to roll that anyway, so it's not a big deal.
I was gonna just bump yours up to a regular hit anyways because that's kind of a dick move. It's a 9 and a 10. If it's the case that each of you rolls, I'm just saying it's like I was gonna bump yours up too. It's kind of
This is
unnecessary
staying
to.
on the ship.
I mean, yeah, it would kind of make sense to be
That's
completely
fair.
honest. I was totally idle for a lot of.
All right.
Hey, can we go yet?
Undertaking the
yeah.
expedition, test your relationships, develop a relationship. Swear the vow. Fulfill your vow. When you reach the end of your quest, roll challenge dice and compare to your progress. On a strong hit, your vow is fulfilled. Mark a reward on your quest legacy tracks per the vow's rank. Did we establish what
It was dangerous.
Dangerous? Okay. Cool. So it would be 2 ticks on dangerous.
So there's quest spawns and discoveries.
It would be
Quests.
on your quests.
1 tick, 2 tick.
So it's a on a weak hit as above, but there is more to be done, or you realize the truth of the quest. You swear an iron vow. You to set things right. Take the. Just go ahead and mark it because it doesn't seem like that. That doesn't make sense on the weak hit. You guys found out what the cause is and dealt with the problem.
Can I take another vow to find this person again?
You absolutely can, yes. Yeah, if you want to swear an iron vow to find them, then absolutely. Because, like, quests are not, or vows are not something that need to be done in a consecutive order or immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, and they can have like all sorts of reach. They don't have to follow.
That being said, that one would probably be an extreme because you probably would have got your butts kicked fighting her. She's a fucking paragon, bitch. Sorry about the bitch. It's just the attitude of being a paragon.
That's fine.
When you said she was tattooed, I thought you meant she had tood. So I
She
was
had
like, okay.
tood. She
Yeah,
had
she had.
tattooed. Yeah. Now I gotta find a cool looking tattooed Jedi. Um, but yeah, that largely concludes that, and I think that's a fine stopping point for today as well. I'm trying to give Kay a chance to get in here, and I think 2 hours is a nice little contained conclusion to this adventure.
Yeah.
Plus, it was a good actually session 0 starter.
Yep, nice
Quest
little
for us,
session
too.
0 starter mission. Y'all
Yeah.
have a better chance to explore more of the haunted threshold sector next week, and hopefully you'll have a fourth person there with you. You can probably pick her up at whatever port we decide to stop at with that. That being said, hey, thank you everybody who's been watching. I do see that there are a few viewers in there. Chat wasn't very active, but that's okay. I still appreciate people who are in and watching. Y'all are wonderful. We love you. Y'all are welcome to be chatty in the chats. I do keep it up and watch. I do see Stefan in there, and that's always cool. Thanks, Stefan, for popping in. But the next game we are doing might be on Saturday. The group is kind of not very communicative right now, so we're trying to figure out if we're doing Blades of the Dark or Monster of the Week, and currently it's an even split between what people want, and our odd tiebreaker has not voted. So I don't know what we're doing, but I kind of wanted them to give me an answer so that we could be ready to play in 2 days. So we'll see what happens. That being said, have a great night, and we'll see